Hey, it's Don Skaggs with Empowered Inventing, the one place where we try to help you help other people by taking your great innovation, mixing it with opportunity, sound wisdom, and turning those things into real things like products and businesses, the kind that actually makes money. So today, I want to talk to you a little bit about your why. Because your why is actually very, very important. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, there's a great, actually a great video out there by Simon Sinek, great, probably a good article too, presentation he did about what he called the golden circle, and your why needs to be in the center of that golden circle, and your what and your how and all that is kind of outside of that, but your core is your why. And your why is very important. In other words, and you might ask me, Don, I don't understand. What do you mean by why? What do you mean? What is my why? It's why you're doing what you're doing. It's your motivation. That's what if you're asking what is my why, it's your motivation. It's what you care about. It's actually what's going on inside your heart. And by the way, usually where you end up spending a lot of your time and a lot of your money is where your heart resides. So you want to find out what that is. Where are you spending your time and your money? What is your why on this? And what is your why for your business? Your motivation to have a startup, to start a business, to come up with develop a product, try to license it, develop a product and try to build a business around it. What is your why? Because if your why is wrong, it's not going to take you very far. I've seen it time and time again. Don, I just want to make $1 million with this. And that becomes their focus, is making the money. They don't care as much about the product. They don't care as much about the a lot of the other ancillary things. They don't care about what I always say in the beginning of these videos is helping other people, but they just want to make money for themselves. And there's nothing wrong with making money. Those certificates of appreciation that people give you so you can keep helping those people, called dollar bills. So but your why, if your why is focused, if your why becomes the money, it's just not going to carry you very far. And one of the reasons, and you say, oh no, I really, really want to make money, Don. That's what I really want to do. But what you don't understand is it won't carry you through the tough times. When things get really, really tough, you suddenly find out that just focusing on making money, you're like, this is just too hard. And really it doesn't become that as an important why or important enough why to you to carry you through those tough times. You'll wander off. I've seen it happen 100 times. But if you get the why right, if you can get your why, your purpose, your what's in your heart, what you're really caring about, if you get that right, then it can really, really carry you if you've got all the other pieces in place with a product or a business. So let me talk to you a little bit today about how to get your why right. Now, the first thing is very, very simple, very straightforward, and if you've watched very many of these videos, and I hope you have, you've probably heard me say this before, and that's to remember that it's not all about you. And that one statement, as simple as it is, permeates into so many different parts of the inventing entrepreneur process. Because if it's all about you, you're going to get a lot of things wrong. And starting with the why. You'll get the why wrong. You'll get the product development wrong. It'll be about what you want in a product and not what your customer wants in a product. It permeates into so many different things. And so if you get this foundation, this is another thing I say at the start of a lot of the videos, is that if I can get you to get these behaviors right, if I can get you to get these foundational things right, you'd be amazed how a lot of these other pieces, if you do them correctly and if you acquire the wisdom first, it will help you along the process. It will actually help you to get everything else right, and a lot of the other things are not as hard as they normally would be, and they fall into place. So remember, number one, that it is not all about you. It's about helping other people. Oh, the one thing I always say in the beginning, usually, about helping people solve their painful problems. And now, it's not just about other people, but it's this particular why that you have. You have to be able to ask yourself, can I share this why with other people? In other words, this thing that I care about, do other people care about it? And can I get them on board with me on this? Can you share this why with a whole lot of people? And that's actually the third thing, is not only can you share the why, it's not just your why, but it's a why that you share with other people. And it's a thing that other people care about as well as you. But here's the other thing, it has to be enough people to help enough people to have them give you enough money to make it sustainable, which is the long and short of it. Now, I'll tell you a great example of this, and that is all these whiteboards you see behind me. This beautiful location here is actually the offices of research and development facility for Bennett Gatto, one of our empowered inventors here in Lexington, Kentucky, and he has come up with a really, really cool way to help Parkinson's patients. And what is his why? Actually, he did a presentation. I was never so impressed, because he did this presentation, and it was for a Small Business Innovation Research phase one grant. And so he was doing the presentation, and it was in Washington, D.C. And I was sitting in the back of the room, and I was never so happy to see what he did with one of his slides. He had one of these slides that came up because the program directors kept asking, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Why do you have this? Why is the customer going to care? It was why? And she was just beating up on all these poor people that were just giving presentations, but the reason why she was beating up is because they weren't getting it. So Bennett goes up there and he says, you want why? I got a whole page full of whys, and he did. And it was just this whole just matrix of this is why they care about this, and this is why they care about this. And it always came back to them. It was never about him. It was always about helping those Parkinson's disease patients. And he's come up with a really cool automated system that is just, I can't wait till he's got this thing completely developed, and he is, because he's in development phase now, and we'll have to have him on a video sometime, and he can actually demonstrate his product. It's really, really cool. But why am I excited about it? Why is he excited about it? Because his why is right. His why is, I am helping Parkinson's disease patients. So now maybe yours doesn't have to be as altruistic as that. Maybe you've got a consumer product. Maybe it helps someone with just an everyday problem, but an everyday painful problem that a lot of people have. And that's got to be your why. I am helping these people solve this problem. And there's a whole lot of these people. So make sure your why that you share, you can share it with a lot of people, and make sure that shared why is big enough. And when I say big enough, I mean, do people really, really care about this why? Do they care enough about it? Are they going to say, nah, I really wouldn't pay $10 for that, I'll just put up with the annoyance? Or are they going to say, wow, I'd pay $20 for that? So you've got to find the shared why. It's got to be big enough. Now, lastly, make sure that your why is bigger than your excuses. And I actually heard somebody say this in not too long ago, or read it somewhere recently, and I thought this just really, really hits on it. And this circles back to the why that's within you. That's what's in your heart, what you're caring about, why you're doing what you're doing. So it's got your why to you has to be bigger than any excuse you can come up not to do it. Because guess what? February is going to roll around, it's going to be ice cold, it's going to be in the middle of July, it's going to be really hot, you're going to have a hard day at work, you're going to come back from that day job that you really don't care that much about, and you're going to sit down and you're going to say, gosh, you know, I've got to do these other things. I don't have time to do my why right now. I don't have time to work on my idea or my business or my startup right now. Because I'm tired and I want to do this other stuff. That's when your why is not big enough to overcome your excuses. You've got to make sure you have that why right. That is the motivator. That is the thing that's going to get you through the tough times. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I'm Don Skaggs again with Empowered Inventing, and I've got a little sidebar, a little question for you. Do you have a product with inventory that you've produced, maybe you've made, maybe you're one of those inventors that just, you rushed out and, you know, hey, you protected yourself, you made a whole bunch of product, now you got a warehouse full of product, or you got a garage full of product, and you don't know what to do with it. You can't move it, and you're just stuck. Send me an email, info@kyinventors.org, and tell me about it. I'm getting feedback from people right now just to kind of find out who's out there with product and what product you have, and maybe there's some way we might be able to help you in the future with it. So anyway, let me know. Again, Don Skaggs, Empowered Inventing. Send me an email, info@kyinventors.org. I'll put that in the comments, and I hope to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of our online classes if you're not close around to a meeting or a workshop, or at least on the next video.